On the morning of August 14, 2005, what seemed like a routine flight was about to turn into one of the most chilling aviation disasters in history. Helios Airways Flight 522 was preparing to depart from Larnaca, Cyprus to Athens, Greece. At exactly 9:07 a.m., the aircraft took off. Everything appeared completely normal at first. There were 121 people on board, including 115 passengers and 6 crew members, all expecting a safe and routine journey. The captain was highly experienced, with over 16,900 flight hours, and the co-pilot had more than 7,400 hours of experience. But just 15 minutes after takeoff, something unusual began to happen, something that would soon spiral out of control. At around 12,000 feet, a warning alarm suddenly sounded inside the cockpit. The pilots initially did not see it as a major issue. They assumed it was a takeoff configuration warning, something that normally occurs before departure, not during flight. Confused, they attempted to contact air traffic control, but at that very moment, multiple alarms began going off simultaneously. The master caution alarm activated, and the situation inside the cockpit quickly became chaotic and confusing. Meanwhile, passengers in the cabin began to feel uneasy. Many started experiencing difficulty breathing. Moments later, the oxygen masks automatically deployed. The situation was rapidly becoming critical. The aircraft was now climbing past 18,000 feet, but the pilot's transmissions were no longer reaching the control room. Within minutes, all communication with the aircraft was lost. This was a clear sign that something had gone terribly wrong. Despite everything, the aircraft continued flying on autopilot as if no one was in control. By 9:30 a.m., it had reached 34,000 feet and soon entered Athens airspace. Air traffic control made repeated attempts to establish contact, but there was still no response. 10:45 a.m. came and went. The aircraft was supposed to land by then, but it was nowhere to be found. Fearing the worst, 2 fighter jets were scrambled and quickly located the aircraft. As one jet moved closer for visual inspection, what the pilots saw was truly terrifying. The captain was slumped over, unconscious. Inside the cabin, there was no visible movement. Passengers showed no signs of awareness. It was as if the aircraft had become a silent ghost in the sky. At 11:59 a.m., a person was seen entering the cockpit and attempting to take control of the aircraft. The fighter pilots tried signaling him, but communication was impossible. Moments later, the left engine failed, and the aircraft began descending slowly. At exactly 12 p.m., the right engine also stopped. The aircraft was now completely out of control. At 12:04 p.m., it crashed into a mountainous area near Athens. All 121 people on board lost their lives. But what investigators discovered next was even more shocking than the crash itself. Autopsies revealed that many passengers had already died before the impact. So who was flying the plane for nearly 2 hours? The answer was the man seen entering the cockpit, a flight attendant named Andreas. He attempted to send a distress call, repeating Mayday several times in a desperate effort. But he had no training to control a Boeing aircraft. Investigators later uncovered the true cause, something incredibly small but critically important. A single switch. The cabin pressurization system had been left in manual mode after maintenance. This system controls the oxygen levels inside the aircraft, and normally it remains set to automatic. But the pilots failed to notice this crucial detail, and slowly oxygen levels began to drop. Passengers became dizzy, then unconscious one by one. The oxygen masks only supplied air for about 12 minutes. After that, silence filled the cabin. Andreas survived slightly longer due to his scuba diving experience, but even he could not save the aircraft. 15 months later, the official report confirmed the tragedy was caused by human error. One small switch led to the loss of 121 lives. If you enjoy real-life aviation mysteries, share this video and subscribe to Sam Creation 8. Stay safe and see you in the next episode.